My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. But does she really wanna, but can't stand to see me walk out the door.
What's up, JJBoos? It's LuhBoo, Jucorrieua, and I'm back with another video. And today, y'all, like I said, I'm still running the same thing because it's still the same night as the other two videos. But I'm gonna be doing a story time, my first story time, actually, which I'm excited about, but I'm also a little nervous about. But I'm gonna be doing a Crazy Ex story time. Okay, I'm pretty sure we all got one, but I'm gonna just tell y'all because I want y'all to learn. Especially, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm out of breath. I want all the young ladies and the young guys to, well, heck, even older people. I just want everybody to learn from my mistakes and not to make the same mistakes that I did. If I can help somebody, that's all I really want to do, and just share my story at the same time. So make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment on this video, and share it, with your mama, your sister, your cousin, your daddy, your frog, if you got one, tadpole, cocoon, butterfly, whomever, it doesn't matter, just share it. Okay, so y'all, let's get into the video. Okay, so this goes back to, back to January 2022. So that's the beginning of this year. So I was 21 at the time, and I was bored. I had a few key friends. The guy that I liked, that I really liked, me and him stopped talking because he went away. That's all I'm gonna say. He went away. So yeah, I just got bored and I joined the dating app. Now, I had been on this app before. That's how I met that other guy that I liked. Anyway, that's not the point. The app was BOK. Would I recommend that app? No. Just don't do it. Just save your time and your money. Don't do it. I had met this guy, and I'm gonna look and see if I still have his messages, which I pray to God that I don't. And I probably pretty much deleted, because that whole chapter in my life was crazy. And I've let that go. I've just let it go, y'all. Let me see. I doubt that I even still have the messages. Let me see. He liked me first on the BLK app. And let me see, do I have him? Nope, I'm pretty sure I deleted him. Anyway, I think I still remember what he said. But anyway, he messaged me first, and he was like, we'll call him Loco, right? Loco was actually, at first I couldn't stand him, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But he was just like, he swiped up on my, no, not swipe up. I think he matched or whatever. And I was just, whatever. Like I told you, I was bored. So, and I don't go out. I go to work, go to the grocery store, and come home. But anyway, he had messaged me and was like I said, he liked me or whatever, and we matched, and he was like, I want you. And I was like, that was the first thing he ever said to me. And I kind of sent a message back like, you want me? Like, he's like, yeah, I want to get to know you, I want you, I know you got a number, I got a number, and I know you got one too. So I'm like, aggressive, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So I can't remember if he sent me his number first or I sent him my number. I can't remember. But what I do remember is somehow, we got each other's numbers or whatever. And it was like a few days later, and I don't think I can't remember. Oh, I do remember. I take that back. I remember. He called me. I think it was almost like 9, 10 o'clock at night, almost. No, I take it back. It was 8 o'clock. I remember it like it was yesterday. But anyway, y'all, he had called me. He was like, you know, we exchanged numbers or whatever on the app, and then like, you know, I didn't think nothing of it because, you know, we just didn't like communicate, contact each other for a few days or whatever. So after blue, a few days goes by, and then all of a sudden I get this call from like a zip code. I see my eye jumping. You know what that means? It means somebody's gonna piss you off. See, that's this story probably gonna piss me off just by telling it. But anyway, it's just y'all, I can't. I'm so glad to be telling y'all this story. But and again, I'm really disappointed in myself. But we're gonna get back into it. Anyway, he called me a few days later after blue. I see this number come across my phone. I'm like, what area code is that? Like, I ain't never seen that in the area code before. And I answered, I think it was a FaceTime at first. And I ain't answered FaceTime. If you got my number, you FaceTime me, and I ain't got your number, baby, I ain't answering that. Text me first. If it's so important, like, if I ain't got your number saved, even if I do have your number saved, if we're not close like that, text me before you FaceTime me. Don't do that. That was my first red flag. Should have been my first red flag. So he goes, I'm like, so anyway, then he just calls the regular way. So I'm like, who is this? So I answered it, right? And I said, hello? And he said, is this Jemiah? And I said, he said, this Jemiah? And I was like, yeah, who is this? And he said, this is Loco. And I'm like, oh, like, it clicked to me after that. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, like, what's up? Like, how you doing? Like, you know, because it was a little awkward at first. Because I don't know this man from can of paint. I'm just be honest. I'm gonna be real. But, anyway, so, anyway, we start conversating on the phone. And like I said, I don't know why, but at first, I couldn't stand him. Didn't like him. And then he was like, I want to FaceTime or whatever, right? So I'm like, do you know what time it is? I got to work. I got a job. I got to get up at 5:45 in the morning to go to work. Baby, you want to FaceTime me? Call me in the daylight. Because I be going to bed. I'm a granny, okay? I'm a grandma. I go to bed. I lay in this bed right here, and I lay down. I go to sleep. Okay? Anyway, so he's like, anyway, Mom, and let me tell you, my mama is nosy. Ooh, child, she knows, and she'll tell you she knows. She a nosy mama. So my mama, I don't know if I ended up going in the kitchen. Oh, that's what it was. I was doing laundry, and she had told me to come in the kitchen, because our laundry room was in the kitchen, to put my clothes in the dryer, I think it was. And I was on the phone. She's like, who you talking to? And I was like, oh, it's this, you know, this guy I met on the dating app and all this other stuff. And mind you, my mom and daddy told me not to join that dating app. But it was like, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do that, baby. Right? So, I should have listened. But I was 21 at the time. Ugh, y'all. So anyway, we start conversating, whatever. So, mind you, so I told y'all he was like he wanted FaceTime. So I'm like, okay, whatever, but not that long, because I gotta go to bed, because I gotta go to work in the morning. So, anyway, we my mama ended up coming. Baby, my mama came in the kitchen, and was like, my mom was like, go sit in the kitchen. I already knew what it was. When she told me to go sit in the kitchen, baby, I knew what it was. My mama don't play that. And my daddy don't either, okay? My parents, baby, they not them ones that they gonna let you... Well, more so my mama. My mama's more nosy. My daddy's like, he'll help you figure it out. But my daddy's not really that nosy. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, anyway, so my mom was like, come sit in the kitchen. Because I already knew what that meant. Because she wanted to listen. She wanted to hear what we was talking about. And which I appreciate that now. I appreciate it then, but I really appreciate it now considering everything that's happened. So, anyway. So, dude, we ended up getting on FaceTime or whatever. And so, my mama ended up basically snatching the phone from me. and was like, what's your name? What's your blood type? Where you from? You have kids? You got baby mama drama? Who your kinfolk is? What's your granny name? Like, all that. My mama gonna ask the questions. That's one thing my mama, she asks questions, okay? So, anyways, tell me why. So, when mind you, my mama ain't go nowhere. My mama sat right there in that kitchen with me until I got out the phone. Tell me why remember I told y'all, he called me. He the one who wanted to FaceTime. This man falls asleep on the phone. I'm talking about falls asleep. I'm talking about snoring. Y'all, I was heated. I'm talking about heated. So, I hung up the phone. Once he fell asleep, I was like, I know you freaking lying. Right? So then, I'm like, I hung up the phone, and I was like, no, not at all. So yeah, we didn't talk for a couple weeks after that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I texted him. I was like, not you fell asleep, like, and you the one who FaceTime. I was real irritated about that. But anyway, we didn't talk for a couple weeks after that. It was just like no communication, no phone calls, no texts, no FaceTime. So, a couple weeks later, I get this ad on Snapchat. And I don't add anybody that I don't know on Snapchat. My Snapchat is just like for my friends and a few of my family members. And yeah, like that's just, I just don't do that. Like that's just weird to me. Yeah. Anyway, so I get this ad and I'm like, who is this? Like, because at the time I only knew the name that he went by, and that was on the dating app. I didn't know that he had another name. Yeah, he went by his, I won't even mention that. But anyway, I'm like, who is that? And I didn't think none of that. None of it. It's like, a few days later I get a text and it's like, what you doing, boo? What you gonna bake? Something like that. I'm like, it was cold outside. I think this was probably like into February. So now we're moving along a little bit. So, like I told you, we didn't text, we didn't call each other for them weeks or whatever. So I'm like, I just honestly thought it was just gonna like blow over. Like I was just like, okay, whatever. Like this is probably the end of that, and if it was the end of that, I was cool with that. So anyway, getting ready to go to bed, getting ready to take a shower so I can go to bed, cause it was a Friday night, and I had to work that Saturday morning. That's what that was, right? So this man gonna talk about some and this was another red flag where I should have nipped it in the bud just then. So he gonna say FaceTime me when you get in the shower so I can see. I'm like, I don't know this man from Adam. I don't know this man from a can of paint. I don't know you like that. And just the type of, I wasn't comfortable. We didn't have that type of relationship. Not that we was gonna have that type of relationship. It wasn't like that. So just the fact that he said that should have been a red flag to me. And honestly it was, but anyway, so that night, I can't remember, he did end up FaceTiming me, but because he just like wanted to talk or whatever. So I'm in the living room because we had some stuff we had to get done during that time. Something I had to do and I forgot, and that required me to. Anyway, I was just in my living room, right? And he FaceTimed me and I answered it and I was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm taking care of some business right now, getting some stuff done." And then anyway, so my mom like, "Who you on the phone with?" Every time I get on the phone with somebody, she like, "Who?" Especially if it's a guy, she like, "Who is it?" Like, she'll snatch the phone from me in a minute. But anyway, anyways, to the point where we ended up talking or whatever, and she's like, I'm like, "Oh, she's like, the same guy I was on the phone with a couple weeks ago, and da 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 da." So anyway, somehow he ended up getting on the phone with my mom and daddy, and he ended up having a conversation with my mom and daddy and giving this real sob story about how he didn't have any family, he wasn't close with his parents, he loved how close I was with my parents, he just wished that he had parents like mine and a family like close-knit family like mine, and of course he wished he could have it. Oh, it just makes his heart so warm, and how great we were together. All this stuff, right? So, mind you, my mama and daddy is real loving. Like, they'll embrace you. Like, you can ask anybody. Um, but it's just, it is what it is, especially my mama. But they took him under their wing. Because, like I said, he gave that sob story. So my mama sends, and he's talking about how he wanted to be closer to God and all this other stuff. And my mama sent everybody. She sent Bible verses every morning. She sends you Bible scripture, Bible verses. So they end up exchanging numbers or whatever, so she could send him the Bible scriptures, and so she could, be there for him and all this other stuff, right? So he ended up having this talk with my daddy, like, I'm gonna do your daughter right, like, I'm gonna treat her right, I'm gonna take her out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like, that's gonna be my wife and all this other stuff, like, she's beautiful, that's, like, and all this other stuff. I'm like, pump your brakes, wait a minute. Pump your brakes, little dude. We just started talking, right? And I'm like, I don't even like dude like that at first. And so I'm like, where does he get all this from? Because we never discussed this. I've only known you for like, probably like a month. Like, for real. By this time, we never met in person. We just talked on FaceTime. And this is only our second time FaceTime, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, he ended up exchanging numbers with both of my parents because I told y'all, how that happened, right? Anyways, so he gonna text me that night and be like, the same night. My job, I told y'all I had to go to work the next morning because I was working overtime at the time. I was working overtime a lot. So I was working that Saturday morning. So this man keeps me up until 3 in the morning. So and I had to get up with my job. I had to get up at 5 in the morning to go to 5:45 in the morning to go to work. So I was heated. I was mad because sleep is important and I don't get a lot of it. So anyway, and you you getting in the way of the bag. Oh no, baby, that's a no-no. That's an extreme no-no. My bag is important, okay? Because I'm making my bag, not nobody else. He didn't even have a job. Didn't have a job. Didn't want a job. Couldn't keep a job and couldn't get a job, okay? Anyway, that should have been another red flag to me, and I didn't find all this out until later. Anyway, so y'all, so where was I? Oh yeah, and he gonna text me talking about some we together, but keep it on the low and all this other stuff. So he tries to lure me to go after everybody ends up going to sleep. I end up sleeping on the couch because I should, like I told y'all before, I share a room with my sister, so I didn't want to be rude. I don't think she had to get up and go to work. I don't think she had to work overtime that weekend. Because we always work at the same place. Anyway, that's no point. Point is, I don't think she was working. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be rude and like be all on the phone and stuff while she laying down, while she trying to get some rest. So I just lay on the couch. No biggie. So I'm already irritated this because I'm sleepy. Because first of all, it was cold outside. And we was out pretty much all day. We didn't get home till late. So I was already irritated. And it was a Saturday that I had to work. Okay? I was irritated. Anyway, point is, this man gonna text me. This boy gonna text me. Talking about something, we together. Just keep it on the low. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? We together, but keep it on the low? Like, why you want to keep it on the low for? First of all, if we together, baby, if I'm with somebody, if I'm supposed to be together with somebody, oh baby, everybody gonna know that I got a man. Okay? Everybody gonna know that I'm with my man. Everybody gonna know. You might not see my exact man's face. I ain't gonna lie. You might not know his name. You might not know his social media. But baby, you gonna know that I got a man. You gonna know that I'm not single. You gonna know that I'm with somebody. Anyway, point being is, major red flag. And it went off in my, that actually went off in my head. I was like, what does he mean by that, right? So, what was it? It's like I said, is it February by this point? It's February by this point. So this all is in February. So, this story goes over the course of months, y'all. Anyway, so where we gonna go? Anyway, so we was talking or whatever. So the next day, he was, that Saturday, Friday or something like that. I think that was a Friday night, like I told y'all. Saturday we went up texting a little bit, and then he's supposed to call me, never did. And he was like, so at this time, am I like, was I like growing to liking him? I guess you could say that. I don't know. I guess you could. I don't know if I was just bored. I don't know, to be honest with you. But okay, so what I'm gonna say is, I can't remember if it was like the next day or the couple days after, but I remember like him. And another thing, I gotta go back a little bit because he was telling us about how he had this crazy ex, right? And she used to beat on him. And I'm like, huh? Like I had to make sure I was hearing him correctly, like, and how she was crazy and she was doing this and breaking that and doing this and doing that, and how he had to go to the hospital several times. I'm like, I don't know, something don't sound right about it. But anyway, I never, mentioned it. I never said anything. But anyway, her name was just being brought up a lot. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to where I was. So he I don't think I talked to him for a day, and then like when I did talk to him, I said, how come you can't call nobody back or whatever, right? So I'm like, he was just sounding like real down and out and all this other stuff. And I'm like, he's like, baby, I got something to tell you. I can't remember if this is weekend. I don't remember like when this is. I just remember the conversation happening, and I remember it being in March. But anyway, he's like, baby, I got something to tell you. So I'm like, what? Like, what you got to tell me? Like, you got that girl pregnant? Like, you got a baby on the way? That's the first thing I thought. Why? That's the first thing I thought is because it was just the first thing that came to my head. I was like, that's what I asked him. I said, you got a baby on the way? You got that girl pregnant? And he was like, nah, not that, but it do have something to do with her. So I'm like, what is it? Like, just tell me now. Like, don't sugarcoat it. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me. He was like, when I come back to the city, I gotta go lay down for a little bit. I'm like, what you mean you gotta go lay down? And he's like, man, girl done took a warrant out on me. You remember that big fight I told you we got into? She done put a warrant out on me and said that I hit her, and I didn't. I was just trying to get her out my house, get her out my mama's house, because it wasn't his house, it was his mama's house. But what I didn't know was, because the first time I told y'all the first time, he didn't stay that far from me. I'm not gonna say the exact city from where he's from, but he's from not far from where I am. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he fled to Atlanta to stay with his sister, and he told me he went to Atlanta, but I think he knew but he never told me why he went to Atlanta. He just told me that he went to Atlanta to stay with his sister for a little bit. But now I know. It all makes sense now. But anyway, he told me, I gotta go lay down. I gotta turn myself in and all this, I think. Anyway, so I'm like, well, being a dummy, being young, naive, I said, well, you do what you gotta do. You get your bond together, and I'll be waiting for you. That's what I said. Being dummy, being stupid. Don't do it. Anyways, so, like I said, he was getting real close with my mama. So he was like, I don't even know how I'm going to tell your mama this. I don't know how I'm going to tell. I'm like, just tell her. Like, don't lie to her. Don't beat around the bush. Because I sure as heck ain't going to lie to her. Yeah, anyway, he told my mama. My mama told him, she said, you know what? Do what you got to do. Get your bond together. Turn yourself in and get this stuff straightened out. And get it over with. He comes back. And he turned his stuff in. He FaceTimed me one night and was like, maybe like a week or two later, and was like, because, obviously we stayed in contact, during the week or during the time or whatever. He called me and he was like, yeah, I'm back in the city. And I'm like, he said, I'm finna go and turn my stuff in. I said, okay, do what you gotta do, and I'll be waiting. Hold it down. Just get it over with. And he's like, alright, like, I'm gonna call you when I get in there. I'm like, okay. Mind y'all, I told y'all I go to sleep early because I work. I get up early in the morning to go to work. This boy calls me at like, I want to say 11 o'clock from jail, 1 o'clock. And one of the times it woke me up. And I ain't gonna lie, I looked at the phone and watched it ring. 1 o'clock in the morning, baby. Nope. If you calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning, I know one thing better happen. Better be happening. A family member is in, I'm talking about some deep, deep trouble. Deep trouble. Something that they need Jesus to get themselves out of. Or somebody's passed away. That's the only reason you get calls like, or somebody done got locked up. That's the only reason you get calls like that at the wee hours in the morning, at the butt crack of dawn. So I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I looked at this phone and watched it ring. So did, and went right back to sleep. So then a couple hours later, maybe like 10, 11 o'clock, he called me while I was at work. My little stuff goes to the bathroom, answer the calls. Yeah, baby, like, I'm in here. I obviously know where you calling from. I see what it say on here. He was like, yeah, I'm in here. I'm waiting to post bond or whatever, da-da-da-da-da. Can you call this one for me? Can you call that one for me? I'm like, all right, whatever. So then my lunch break, he called me again. Baby, I posted bond. I'm just waiting on them to call my name to release me. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So we had this little, actually it was a good conversation. I ain't gonna lie. It was like a real cute, like, good conversation. So talking about some how he can never stay mad at me, and we can never stay his this and that and all this and da 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 da. And he's talking about how if I ever try to stop talking to him, that he wasn't never gonna leave me alone. If I blocked him, he was gonna just create another number. If I blocked him on social media, he's gonna create another account. Y'all, it was just a hot mess. Anyway, literally, so he gets out. Literally the next day, I kid you not, the very next day. I'm pretty sure I had to work that Saturday too, cause that was a Thursday. Or was it Friday? I think it was either a Thursday or Friday, but I'm pretty sure it was a Friday. Yeah, that was a Friday, because he turned his stuff in that Thursday night and then the Friday morning. So, Thursday night, Friday morning-ish. So, anyway, so the Saturday, I can't remember if I worked that day or not, but if I'm not mistaken, I think I did. But we have family time at my house, and it's like no phones, no disruptions, just family time. We watch your dinner, the movie. We got TV in the kitchen. We sit there and we eat dinner and watch a movie or a show, whatever. We just sit there and we have quality family time, right? No electronics, no distractions, no devices, whatever, right? So we all put our phones in like the little basket, little bucket, whatever my mom and daddy got to put the phones in. They put their phones in too. So my phone is in the bucket. Everybody's phone is in the bucket, obviously, right? So I hear my phone ringing. I'm like, I know who it is, because he always on me. He want to know what I was doing, when I was doing, why I was doing it, who I was doing it with, what I was eating, what the flavor of it was, what flavor my drink was, all this other stuff. I'm like, y'all just don't be like me. Anyway, I heard my phone ring, and and then after it rung, he was FaceTiming. After it rung, I heard my text. I heard the little ding. I heard the little chime go off. So I'm like, he not finna stop calling his phone until I get this phone. So later that night, we get our phones back, and we're like, no, everybody's like basically like disperses. Like, mom and daddy go to their room. My little brother go to his room. My sister come in here. So I'm like, okay, let me call him back, right? So I remember exact words I said. I said, hey, you called, we having family time, and we put our phones away. Y'all, I kid you, this was literally the very next day after he had got out of jail, mind you. Ooh, this is ruffles my feathers. Ooh, it just made me mad that I even allowed myself to go through this. Like, ooh, it just makes me want to. Anyway, my sister over there. But I feel like Usher. I'm mad enough to punch me in my face. I feel like an idiot. Okay, anyway. So, mind you, this is the very next day after he had got out of jail, right? Off that warrant, of that little warrant or whatever. So, literally the very next day, he gonna talk, mind you, I told you, I called him, I was like, I'm like, oh, whatever he called, whatever. So, I'm like, let me call him back. So, I was like, I said, hello? I said, you call? I seen where you called. We were talking family talk, da-da-da-da. And he was like, y'all, I kid you not. I think I even put it on, did I have it on? No, that's what. He gonna go, I kid you not. He gonna go, I hear, and then I hear, do, do, do. I said, I know he better have dropped that call. I know the signal, but I know he better be in woods and there ain't no cell phone towers nowhere. I know he just didn't hang up on me. And I looked over at my sister and I said, did he just hang up on me? And I kind of like looked at the phone to look again, like, oh, he hung up on me. Cause he smacked his ups. I kid you not, I heard doop doop doop. If you got an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. Them little 3 doop doops. Whoo, y'all, my blood started boiling. I can't. Ooh, that made me. That pissed me off so bad. Anyway, my sister said he hung up on you. I said, oh, okay. He want to play games. Okay. So I went in there. I think I ended up telling him. I can't remember how I told my mama the next day of that night. I think I told them. No, I think, yeah, my sister was like, Mom, because she didn't like him anyway. My sister not really a people person, but if she comfortable with you, she gonna kiki. If she comfortable with you, she'll kiki with you. She'll kick it with you. You know, if she like you and she comfortable with you. Anyway, she didn't like him from the jump. I should have known something then. When my sister, well, I ain't gonna lie to you, my sister really don't like but a handful of people. Anyway, but I should have known just by the way she was acting, like she was getting mad at me and she was like getting real hostile with me about talking to him. Like, as long as I was talking to him, she would, I ain't gonna lie, she wouldn't talk to me. We share a whole room. And this girl was like, oh no, I'm not having it. So, that's the funny part about it. I can laugh about that part now. But anyway, she ended up running and snitching. She was like, dude, Loco hung up on Jemiah. Loco hung up on Jemiah, right? So, Loco is nowhere near his name, y'all. So, if you're trying to figure out who he is, you're not going to find out. This other stuff had happened. And mind you, this is still March. So, this is like a couple weeks before March and all this other stuff. So, my mom was like, oh no. My daddy was like, oh no, sir. Mind you, I told you he had a conversation with both my parents and promised them he was going to do me right and do right by me. He was going to treat me right. He was going to do all this stuff, all this lavish stuff. And I'm like, mind you, because like now, not only you done piss me off, but you done piss my parents off because you lied to them. You broke your promise to them. You went out of your way to tell them things that you was going to do. And they don't play about their kids. They don't play about their daughter, okay? Don't. My daddy was like, oh no, My mom was like, block him. So that's what I did. I blocked him so he couldn't call my phone, FaceTime my phone, and text my phone. I didn't block him on social media. I didn't block him on my Instagram. I didn't block him on my Snap. So by this time, mind y'all, I'm already off the app by this point. And all the dudes that I was talking to before, I cut off. That was a dumb move. That was a dummy move of me to cut off all the dudes that I was talking to before because I'm supposed to be in a so-called relationship with this dude. But if I could go back, I wouldn't have done that. So Loco ended up next day, like I told you, I blocked him. So he ended up the next night, so this was a Saturday, Sunday night. It happened Saturday. So he ended up calling me from a different number. Yeah. Because he ended up told me, I don't know if I said this already, but he said, I ain't never going to leave you alone. Ever. If you block me, I'm going to just create another number. You block me, you block my number, I'm going to create another one. I'm gonna call from another one. I'm gonna text from another one. You block me on Instagram, I'm gonna create another account. You block me on Snap, I'm gonna create another account. So literally, it came into fruition literally 2 days later. It's crazy how it happened so fast. It happened like that. So and he was true to his word too. He calls me. He was calling me from other numbers, texting me from other numbers, making text app numbers, calling me, texting me, calling my mama phone, calling my daddy phone from different numbers. No, actually, because I don't think my daddy blocked them at first. So he was calling their phones, texting their phones. Then he gonna DM me on Instagram, talking about the reason I hung up on you and the reason I was mad because I thought you was lying to me. What I got to lie for? I ain't got no reason to lie. Baby, I was telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Anyways, so, dude was loco. Dude was crazy. So, and then I was like, no, I'm about to make dude sweat. I'm not finna give in that easy. I'm about to show you who you messing with. I'm about to show you that you messing with that chick. And I'm not like these other girls out here. Okay, I got my own bag. I got my own. Okay? And I'm about to show you. I'm just about to show you. And as my nana was saying, I'm about to break you from sucking eggs, okay? So he's still blocked he's still blocked from my phone. So he's Snapchatting me, he's DMing me on Instagram, calling me on Instagram. Anyway, so my daddy, that same night, my daddy grabs the phone and he DMs him a message and was like, nada. I'm not even gonna say what my daddy said because I can't say it on YouTube. But baby, trust me, that man, if I know one thing, baby, that man not going about me. Okay? About his family, baby, he not going. Okay? Anyway, and then dude gonna come and say, why your daddy coming at me like that? And I felt disrespected. Baby, first of all, you disrespected him. Because, no, first of all, you disrespected his daughter because of what you did and how you think that you can play with me and can't. And you disrespected, not only, but you disrespected him by disrespecting his daughter. And you made a promise to him that you was gonna do right and do all this other stuff. So, anyway, I didn't give in that easy. I think it was like, maybe like 4 or 5 days later. I ended up messaging him a long paragraph on Instagram. I basically told him, I ain't your ex, so I ain't gonna pay for what she did to you. You're not gonna treat me like I'm some type of floozy, basically. You're not gonna treat me like that. And I ain't never seen my mama get treated like that. I ain't never seen my daddy treat my mama like that. So I know I know what I want from a man. I know how I want to be treated. I know what I've seen, and baby, that's not it. If we don't even continue to do this, baby, you're gonna have to get right. And I mean right now. Immediately. Right now. And I sent him a long, lengthy paragraph, right? He's like, baby, I know, I'm sorry. I know you're not her. You're not gonna have to pay for what she did. I promise. Just unblock me and we can talk. And I said, no, I'm not unblocking you. If you want to talk, we can talk right here on this app. I'll unblock you when I feel like unblocking you. So, anyways, so we end up, snapping back and forth on Snapchat. Or whatever, right? Having a conversation. Anywho, so, maybe like a week or 2 later, I really did end up, he's like, you gonna unblock me now, baby? And I'm like, I'll unblock you when I feel like it. So, I did end up unblocking him maybe like 2 weeks later. And all this other stuff. And I think he was still... No. It wasn't... I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't 2 weeks later. Because how I know something else happened. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Anyway, so he ended up... My parents' anniversary was coming up. Their 20th wedding anniversary. They've been together like 26, 27 years. And they've been married... This year makes... March 28th makes 20 years that they've been married. So it was a special time for us, and I planned on doing them an anniversary photo shoot / family photo shoot. So anyway, so I don't think did we talk after I unblocked him? I think we did like a few times or whatever, but it wasn't like nothing like cool, like major or whatever. I think it was like one time. and FaceTime like maybe like 1 2 times. FaceTime like maybe like 1 2 times, something like that. So, like I told you, so March 27th, which was a Sunday. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember like it just happened today. It was the day before that 20th wedding anniversary. So I told y'all we was doing a family photo shoot that day, and I was doing them some pictures, some anniversary pictures. So, and I was gonna take it myself with my camera, and I did. We was we was doing the photo shoot, the family photo shoot, went real nice. Pictures turned out real nice. We was all happy. It was a joyous occasion. Obviously, that's just a blessing. 20 years of marriage is a total, complete blessing. So we get to our favorite restaurant, and we waiting on our table, whatever, because that place is always crowded. Like, it's so good, it's always crowded. Anyway, the point being is I'm sitting over there in a little waiting area waiting for our table, and I see on Snapchat that he posted, "Feds got me. I need numbers." I said, he needs to stop playing. That's not funny. Like, that's not funny. Like, don't do that. And I was about to call him and tell him, stop saying that. That's not funny. You don't play like that. Matter of fact, I'm about to block you again, because don't play like that. That's not funny, right? We finally get our table. Y'all, I kid you not. I didn't even get to sit down good for 60 seconds. My phone starts ringing, and it's the jail number. I said, oh, he was serious. I said, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Whatever you got yourself in this time, oh, no, baby, I'm not going to be there. Nope. Not there. Not answering this phone. Nope. Not answering this phone. Because what you done did to have the feds come pick you up. Not just the regular police, but the feds. The federal marshals. The U.S. marshals. And, baby, when they coming, oh, no. If they got to come out, that mean business, okay? Oh, y'all. I said, oh, no, sir. No, ma'am. Nope. I'm not answering this phone, right? Mind you, I set my phone on the table. Turn my phone face down. So I'm like, and I'm pretty sure, I can't remember I think I like, on the iPhone, how you just hit this little button? Yeah. I hit the button, I was like, oh, no, So my phone just starts doing the table like, I'm like, he just won't let up, right? So I like, for a few minutes, I noticed that my phone started ringing. I'm like, okay, so maybe not. Hopefully he get the picture, right? So I'm like, all right, hopefully he get the picture and leave me alone. It's a whole nother number. Like, it's a number that I don't think I had ever seen before this day. So I'm like, my mom's like, just answer it, see what he want, right? So I answered it, and then he's like, we're gonna call him homeboy. Homeboy, he said, hey, this homeboy, this homeboy, I'm Loco's homie. So I'm like, oh, like, what's up? He's like, and then all of a sudden I hear Loco getting on the phone. Baby, it's me. Like, the feds got me. It's on an old charge. I ain't do nothing. It's on an old charge that already's been dismissed. The county dismissed it and all this other stuff. I'm gonna get out soon. But he didn't say that. He said, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in here. Don't, like, keep your head up, keep going, keep pushing, don't stop. I was like, I was gonna do that anyway. Just cause you went to jail, baby. Well, how that song go? One monkey don't stop no show. Okay, I was gonna do that anyway. Anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever. So at this point, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, my feelings was hurt. Cause I'm like, how do you get yourself in the feds? Like, at this point, my feelings was hurt. Why my feelings was hurt? I don't know. That's stupid. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, you keep your head up. Like, I'm sorry that this is happening to you, but you gotta do better and all this other stuff. So I'm like, whatever. So, mind you, I told you this was Sunday. So the following Friday after that, so I didn't talk to him almost a week. So I noticed my phone, and by the way, I went online, and you know how you can search up people's mugshots. Sure enough, there it was. baby, the previous one from that just had happened from a couple weeks before that, and this one. I said, oh baby, 2 mugshots in a month. 2 mugshots in a month is a lot. It's too much for me, and I should have ran then, but I didn't. Oh baby, there's more. Trust me, it gets more messier. Anyway, y'all. So another maybe like how many days is that? Like 4 or 5, maybe like 4 or 5 days later, I get a call and I'm walking around with my mom and my sister, and I notice it's this a number that I ain't never seen before. It's like an 888 number. I'm like, ugh, like it ain't nobody, but I answered it because I didn't know who it was. I ain't gonna lie, so I answered it. I'm like, after it calls a couple times, because the first couple times I didn't answer. After the first couple after them times, I went ahead and answered it. So I'm like, who is this keep calling my phone? Like, what if it's like my job or something, or what if it's like has something to do with my job, or like another, like maybe like a family member who's I don't know. So I answered it, and this is a collect call from Loco so and so and so and so. I'm like, oh no, I ain't gonna lie to you. I hung it straight up. I hit that red end button so fast. Called again. Collect call from so and so in the so and so county correction facility. So they had moved him from the county that he was in to another county about maybe like almost like an hour away. So then I once again hung up the phone because you had to put in the card information, right? That the same night, maybe like a few hours later, called. Maybe I think it was like 9, 10 o'clock. So he called. I'm like, how does Negro get phone privileges this late? Shouldn't he be on lockdown? Ain't it lights out? Ain't it bedtime? No, he got a bedtime. Anyway, so just so he would stop calling me, I ended up putting in my card information so I can answer the call. Right? So he's like, my motherfucking baby, I missed you so much. I miss you so much. I'm like, first of all, mind you, we ain't never met in person. I'm going through all this with a person who I ain't never met in person. Baby, this is a lot. A whole lot of. Okay? So, I'm like, hey, like, how you doing? How you holding up? Like, whatever. Right? So he was like, da-da-da-da-da-da, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I tried everything to scare this man away, to scare this little boy away. I say little boy because that's what he is. He's not a man. I tried everything to scare him away. I told him that I had a son, and he gonna say, because it was, I think by this time it was around April Fool's, or it was around April Fool's. No, April Fool's had just passed. That's what it was. And mind you, my birthday is in April. So I was going through this story goes all the way from January to April. So this was going like 4 months of my life that I can't get back, that I wasted. But this is a lesson learned. Anyway, my birthday month is April, and I was going through all this hell during my birthday month when I should have been celebrating. So mind you, it's like my motherfucking baby and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh Lord, like, I told you I tried everything. I told him I had a son, and he was like, and then he was just like, where he's at, and I was like, he's with his daddy, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I'm just playing with you, da da da. I even told the man I had to, but no, hold on. He was like, well, when I get out, like, I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna give you that baby that you want. I'm like, pump your brakes. I didn't say I wanted a baby with you. I told him, of course, like, we like talked about like what we wanted in life, and you know, kids is something that I want. But I ain't gonna lie, I never wanted a kid with him. Never seen myself having a kid with him. Ever. I never even seen myself being with him for a long time. I don't even know why I continue to put myself through this. Couldn't tell you the reason why. I guess God just seen that I needed to learn this lesson, baby. I was already tough, but now I'm tougher. I guess that's why he needed, I don't know. Anyway, and this is the first time I'm ever telling this story to anybody that is not close to me. A lot of my like family members don't even know this story, so I'm letting y'all know. Anyway, point being, let's get back to the story. Anyway, he was like, I'm gonna give you what you want and all this stuff, give you this baby that you want and all this other stuff. Y'all, mind you, I told him everything to try to get him away from me, right? To scare him away from me. I told him I had a girlfriend. Child, I was trying to get, why I said that, I don't know. Probably that was one of the first things that came to mind. I don't know. But you wanna know what this boy says? He says, stop playing with me. And I say, no, for real, I got a girlfriend. Like, it just happened. Like, I wasn't planning on it happening and all this other stuff. He's like, well, I mean, it don't bother me. When I get out, we're gonna be one happy family. I said, damn, like, come on. Alright, y'all, my bad, my camera died. So, anyway, where was I? I told you I was trying everything to get him to run him away. Didn't work. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna run him away. I guess I'll just be here for him, just so, you know, because I know jail, I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. Jail is not a place to be. Jail is for real people who deserve, jail is for people who actually do crimes who deserve to be there. Anyway, you know, all this other stuff starts happening. So I ended up making an account with the whole phone, putting money, so he could have money on the phone, so he could call. Terrible decision. Anyway, so, I was pretty much the only one who was keeping money on the phone. So he was having me call this one, call that one, call my mama, call my auntie, call my cousin, call my sister, mind y'all, his sister, he has a bunch of siblings, bunch of siblings. Anyway, and anyways, point being is his whole sister cursed him out so bad, and she was like, I call his pretty much everybody he would tell me to call, I block my number, cause you're not gonna call my number and be harassing me by him. Nope, not gonna do it. And he actually told me to call his sister probably, because he's like, I don't want her having your number and all this other stuff. I don't want her having your number, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. Called his sister cussed him clean out. I felt bad for him. My mama and my daddy heard him getting cussed out by his sister. That's how bad it was. I felt bad for him. She's like, oh, you giving everybody my number. Da, da, da. I'm like, ooh. Mind you, I'm on break. I'm on mute. So anyway, I was calling this one for him. I'm surprised he didn't ask him to call his pastor at this point, because that's who he needed. He needed Jesus. So I didn't know that, mind you, everybody who we get on the phone with, they bringing up girl, which is what I'm gonna call his ex. They bringing up old girl. What about old girl? Old girl, you talk to this and you talk to her. You done this, da 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 da. I'm like, so this goes over a course over a couple weeks now. This is probably whatever. Every time we get on the phone with somebody, he like, call homeboy for me. I'm like, okay, whatever. Call homeboy. Da 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 da. Y'all, I kid you not. Everybody who we get in contact, everybody who I contact him for, mentioned his ex. And I had suspicions anyway that he was still messing with his ex, talking to his ex, associating with his ex, because, mind you, I didn't tell y'all this part. He was trying to do music. He was trying to do music, as they would say. If I was from Memphis, I'd say music, right? So I'm like, his music career, I'm sorry, but I'm a real supportive girl, but baby, that music career wasn't going nowhere. Nowhere. That wasn't going nowhere but nowhere, okay? So, I noticed, mind you, I told you all the time that we had got into it, right? I had noticed that he had females in the studio. I didn't think never that he was posting this on his Snapchat story and on his Instagram story. So he knows that we follow each other on Snap, on Instagram. Cause mind you, I told you he kept up with me, like I was, baby, like I was the Bible. Like he should have been keeping up with the Bible. Okay. Anyway, he was keeping up with me. Anyway, point being is, dude was crazy. Anyway, so he was doing this stuff out of spiteful on purpose. He was posting females was in his face, in the studio. He was just with different females, kind of like females. I like there was I would use Pooh for example. All right, so we in the studio. Well, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, not we. He was in the studio, and there was this girl's kind of like she had her leg like this. You see this? You see how Pooh's sitting? Yeah, she had her leg like this. I'm like, I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna say nothing. And mind you, I told you that I thought I had that. Okay, you can go back down here. Anyway, I told y'all that I had thought that 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 he was. I had suspicion that he was still associating with his ex or whatever. Cause why is everybody still bringing her name up? I had thoughts and questions about that before, but I just didn't say nothing because I ain't have my evidence. I ain't have my case, so I didn't want to bring nothing that I didn't have no evidence. That I didn't have no receipts for. Cause when I know you doing wrong, I want all the evidence to be there so you can look real stupid and real dumb. So anyway, I told him one night. I said, why does everybody keep bringing up your ex? Why does every time I call somebody for you, they bringing up your ex? I said, quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing her name. And it's starting to piss me off. Because she not keeping money on the phone. She not calling this one for you. She not making sure that you in good spirits every day. She not making sure that somebody's going to get in your stuff from that one jail that you got locked up in. She not doing that. So I don't want to hear nothing about her no more. I'm not playing with you. I don't want to hear nothing about her no more. Nothing. Not a peep about that girl. I'm not playing with you. He was like, I'm sorry, baby. Don't be mad at me. Da, 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 da. I'm like, and another red flag. Homeboy, he had mentioned something about one of their other homies messing around with a girl. And I'm like, and I tell you, Loco went crazy. Loco started going off. I'm like, why do you care? If that's your ex, you supposed to be with me. Why you care? Why you lashing out like this? He didn't. That girl didn't sleep with him. He didn't touch her. Da 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 da. And he didn't realize that he messed up and said, I talked to her and her mama the other day. Oh, so you talked to her and her mama? He didn't touch her. They was just chilling. She was just in the studio with him. Why do you know this, first of all? Why are you still talking to her? If you don't want me talking to other dudes, and you don't want me conversating with other dudes, why are you talking to her? If I was conversating with a dude who I used to be with or whatever, you wouldn't have liked that. He would have got mad at me. He would have called me probably every name in the book. Said everything about me. Right? Anyway, point being is, yeah. Anyway, I just got tired of hearing her name or whatever. So y'all, it got to the point where it just got real bad. It started causing problems between the relationship of me and my parents. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all how much money I spent on keeping the money on the phone, and for him, I spent over $600 keeping money on the phone in the course of just a couple weeks. Mind you, I work hard for my money. I go to work a hard job, hard laboring job, breaking my body down to go and spend my money on that. No, that wasn't worth it. And if I could go back, I would have never, ever done that. I would have never even joined that stupid app. But it just got so bad, and my mom was like, something ain't right. She had that mother's intuition. She ended up Googling him, and she found out some of his charges. I think some of them included sexual assault that I knew nothing about. Some of them included, I honestly think he had a charge it was just causing problems with me and my family. And oh yeah, and another thing he's talking about something. My girl about to get her place and we gonna move in together. We gonna do this and do that. Talking to his cellmates, talking, just talking real reckless and real aggressive. And like I told y'all, he wanted to know who I was with, what I was doing, what I was eating, where I was, what color was the food that I was eating, who chewed it up for me. Like, how many times did I chew it up? Like, he was just, I don't know. Yeah, I regret this whole situation. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know they said not to live with regrets, but baby, I regret this. It wasn't worth it. And I just had to let it go. I ended up having to change my number. I had to change my Cash App. I just had to let it go. And now it make me sick to think about it. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I never met him. I'm glad that I did all this over a person who I never even met in person, y'all. Somebody I never even met in person, but supposed my crazy ex or whatever. It ain't even not worth it. I'm gonna find the right man in God's time. When He ready for me to find a good man, good, strong, hardworking, got his own, loving, respectful, beautiful, strong black man, He gonna send him to me, baby. He gonna send him to me when the time is right. But I was rushing, and I see what in a rush got me. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. That was my story time, and my first story time, honestly. Actually, of my crazy ex. Just learn from my mistakes, y'all. Don't be like me. Don't rush it. Wait for. But yes, y'all, that was my story time of the crazy ex situation. Just don't do it. Don't be like me. Learn from my mistakes. I'm telling y'all this story so you will learn from my mistakes. You won't do the same things that I did. Sometimes you gotta touch the stove to see if it's hot, but baby, trust me, it ain't not worth it. But whew. Ladies, if you got that crazy man who won't leave you alone, but you trying to get away from, fellas, if you got that crazy girl or whatever, change your number. Change your number and block them. Just change your number, block them. I guarantee you, it'll work. It'll work. Woo, y'all, that's feel like a boulder been lifted off my chest. But yeah, y'all, this is the end of my story time, and I'm glad that I did get to tell the story. So if you want me to do some more story times, let me know in the comments down below. And make sure y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment on this video, share it. Yeah. Follow my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Twitter, at Jucorrieua, JMIYAJUCORRIEUA. And yeah, y'all, I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Let me cater to